I've had several requests to do a special video on how newly qualified nurses and midwives and nurses who have just completed their rotation or national service can migrate to the UK and work as registered nurses or registered midwives. That is the purpose of today's video. If you're a student nurse who just completed your nursing education, or if you are a nurse who just completed your rotation and national service, how can you migrate to the UK and work as a registered nurse or a registered midwife? Personally, I think newly qualified nurses and midwives who have just completed their nursing education, or nurses and midwives who have just completed their rotation or national service, should stay in their home country, work for some time and gain more experience before they travel to an overseas country to work as nurses and midwives. This is because you require a lot of experience to work in an overseas country. You go to a country where you were not trained as a nurse there, okay? You don't know their education system, you don't know their hospital setting. So you are going to fall on your experience that you have in your home country to practice your nursing there. Yes, you undergo some training when you travel to an overseas country to work as a nurse or a midwife, but primarily you are going to base on the experience that you have from your home country to practice nursing and midwifery in an overseas country. This is why I don't like the idea where newly qualified nurses and midwives would want to travel to an overseas country to work there. I advise you that you remain in your home country. You work in different hospital settings, you work with different patients, you encounter different clinical conditions, you gain a lot of experience in the nursing and midwifery job, so that when you travel to an overseas country, you fall on that experience to work in the hospital or the care home that you're going to work at. Guys, this is my personal opinion. I know people will not listen to this advice and they will still want to migrate to an overseas country to work as a nurse or a midwife even when they don't have any experience. For those who want to travel to the UK, these are the processes. There are only few specific things that you have to do because you are newly qualified. I have a video on this channel that I have thoroughly explained all the processes overseas nurses and midwives have to go through if they want to travel to the UK and work in the UK health sector. Now, let me explain to you the few specific things that you have to do if you are a newly qualified nurse or a midwife and you want to travel to the UK. The first one is with your NMC UK registration, and let's head on to the NMC UK website and let me show you that. So this is the NMC UK official website. I will leave the link to this website on this video description. So we move on straight to joining the register. That is where we want our information, and we want to join the register as registered nurse or midwife. So we click on that. Now here we were trained outside UK, so I click on that to get me to where I want to show you the specific information. Now let's see, read the guidelines, which is very important. And this is where the difference is for you, the newly qualified nurse, or the national service or rotation nurse who have just completed your rotation. This is where you have to pay much attention. It says provide qualification and registration information. So you're going to open that. Tell us your education institution's details if you have never been registered. If you have never been registered, and this is very important here. So you need to provide the name, address, contact, email address of your education institution. You must confirm you have consent to share their details with us. Your education institution will need to, so you give NMC the details of your institution that trained you to become a nurse, and when they contact them, this is the information that they will they'll be asking from them. check the information you've provided about your qualification, confirm if it matches their record or if it does not. If they are able to let us know whether it would allow you to register with the relevant professional regulator. So this is what you have to do if you are not registered with the NMC in your home country. Also, the NMC says if you have not been registered, now the information that they have put under this is if you have not previously registered in your country of training, we will ask you for the name of your regulator you could register with. We will then contact the regulator to confirm that your qualification would allow you to register with them to check if you meet our eligibility criteria. If your regulator is unable to confirm this, for example, if you have not completed a registration examination, we may not be able to accept your eligibility application. So guys, this is simple and straightforward, okay? If you are not registered with the NMC in your home country, NMC UK will require information to contact your nursing educational institution, okay? They will also contact the regulator in your home country and ask them some few questions. If you are lucky and you get through this process successful, all the other processes are the same as any other overseas nurse and midwife will go through. And just as I said, I have that video on this channel about how overseas nurses and midwives can migrate to the UK to work in the health sector. Now, the next part of the process for you is your UK job search and job application whilst you are in your home country. And this is where the other problem lies, okay? Most UK recruiters, most UK recruiting agencies, nursing homes, hospitals are looking for experienced overseas nurses and midwives. So there's high likelihood that if you tell a UK recruiter that you just finished your nursing education, okay, there is high likelihood that the person may not employ you. The person may give the job to that nurse or midwife who have a lot of years of experience on the job. But if you want to do the process, okay, don't be dismayed, just continue. Now, as part of your job search and your job application, you have to prepare a CV. In every CV, we have a part that talks about your work experience. Guys, because you just completed your nursing education, you don't have any job experience. What you have is your clinicals and your placement experience. That is what you are initially going to put in your CV as your job experience, okay? So the different words that you've worked, you put it there and state it as your job experience. Whatever that you did on the word, you just put it in your CV. I will also advise you to do some voluntary work with a hospital, whether you are paid or not, okay? Just do a voluntary work with a hospital whilst waiting for your examination result or whilst waiting for you to be registered with your NMC UK. Just do some voluntary work with any hospital so that you can gain more experience, so that you can get something to write in your CV. So if you do that voluntary work, wherever that you work, you can put it in your CV that from this date to this date, I worked in this hospital. These are the things that I did when I worked with the hospital. So doing voluntary work will also help you with your job search and job application. So when you have all these things done, you search for jobs in the UK, nursing jobs in the UK. And again, I have a video on this channel about how to search for nursing jobs in the UK. It is in the same video about how overseas nurses can travel to the UK. I explain thoroughly all the processes, so I will still advise you to watch that video. Now, for the last part, your UK visa application. When you are successful with your job search and your job application and an employer in the UK agrees to employ you, you have to apply for your UK visa. Your UK visa application is the same as any other nurse will apply. There are no differences, okay? The only problem that you have as the newly qualified nurse or midwife is when it comes to your NMC UK registration and your UK job search and job application. So guys, this is the information I have for you. this is the information I have for you. Your process is not entirely different, just as I said. It's almost the same as any overseas nurse or midwife. Just pay much attention when it comes to NMC UK registration and your UK job search and job application. So thank you for watching today's video. My name is MORDECAI. See you another time with another interesting video. If you have any question, just ask it in this video comment section. Subscribe to this channel. We have a vibrant Telegram group that you can join if you want to ask a lot of questions. We are there to answer your questions every time. Thanks again for watching this video. See you another time with another interesting video.